So today I want to talk about proper extension. A lot of you have been struggling with it, and I've been getting many questions about it. And I want to talk about, what I believe and the proper way to get to the baseball and what your hand should be doing during the swing and the bat path. So you'll see right here we have a player. Early in the season, he was doing this a lot, and he was literally training himself to do this in the cage. And at first, as a coach, I didn't know any of these players, and I wanted to see what they were doing. I wanted to get a feel of, what they're trying to do and their routines and how they get themselves ready for the game. And so basically, during the practices, he would get ready, as you guys can see here, and a lot of good stuff going on with his swing, and we'll talk about it a little bit later. But he would get to the ball, okay, and then right on contact, he would take his top hand right off the bat, and he was pounding a lot of balls into the ground, right? A lot of balls into the ground. He would never get through the ball. He just pounded right into the ground. And that was due because he wasn't getting through that baseball. That little tick out front, it was just right here, and then he would just let go. And that's right there what I see with a lot of young hitters. They're just slapping the ball instead of catching it and continue through it. Barry Bonds made this analogy to me. He said, you want to catch the baseball, not hit it. And what he meant was when you're hitting it right here, you want to continue through it as far as front as you possibly can. And as far as the bat path goes, I like how he gets on playing with it. You always want your barrel to be, I said it before in a lot of videos, is after seeing a lot of swings, you see that the bat head should be parallel with the ground. And then as it starts getting on plane, we should be working up and through it, or getting on plane to it and working high through it. So I like his path. He was just pushing it into the ground. And even when we were in the cage, he was hitting grounders a lot. And that's what ended up happening on the field. And him with his lower half and his size, grounders are outs. He really had to hammer a ball to get it through the infield. So that's what we're talking about today. And we're going to talk about, the things that we did to get him, a better bat pass so he can start driving the baseball and see, those results. I told him, I was like, hey, a guy your size, these colleges want to see you hit the ball in the air. And the more you can do that, the better. And so we started working on, if he was going to get out, it should be in the air. And I know that might sound, a little bad to some of you, but look at his size. If he hits on the ground, he ain't getting on base, and that's the truth. So, for him, getting him to drive the ball more and get the ball in the air would allow him to hit extra base hits and more homers. And that's where he's going to get paid in this game to do, is to drive the baseball. So we started working on that. We're like, hey, man, if you're going to get out in the air. Now, he was not flying out. So your visual may be all right, hit pop-ups or stuff like that. No, we weren't talking about that. We were talking about line drives hard in the air, which is ultimately the goal anyway, right? So we were working on that, and that's basically what I'm going to show you today. Okay, so let's go over into what we did and what were the results, and let's continue. So we worked on him getting that proper extension through the ball and getting through the ball with his top hand. So we did a lot of one-hand drills, which was different from what he was doing. And look how he gets, and man, I love how he gets there. Man, he gets there. Man, I love that. Look how his head doesn't even move much. He look where, look at this square right here, okay? That square right there. And now look, he's literally in the bottom of that square. So I like how he just drops into his lower half. Man, that's nice. That's really nice. Okay, he gets into his lower half, and then look how he starts turning that back hip to the ball and getting on plane. That's what we worked on, getting connected. Getting connected and getting on plane. Look how that back gets parallel with the ground, and then look how he just goes right through that with that top hand. Boom. Now he did come across right there after, but he still, drove it the right way. I probably would like him a little bit more upwards through it, but that's still great in my opinion. Looking how he got to that ball. Like, this was a pitch he was struggling with earlier in the year, and he started driving that pitch. Look at that. That's sexy right there. Boom, boom. Yes. Yes. And look how he finishes. Look how he's getting through it now. And look at that finish. It's like powerful. It's behind the baseball. This is how you start. This is how you drive balls right here. Behind it. Look at that. That's beautiful right there. Firm front side. And then finishes. And then you just look at it as you're driving it. You know what I mean? Then it's easy peasy. We'll watch it in fast time, and then we'll talk about the things that we did. Ooh. He gave me a high five around first base. I was like, you better have known that was gone. So yeah, so the things that we did was we worked on his top hand, okay? And you don't want your top hand. So we worked on his top hand being connected with this lower half, and then driving up through it, as you see right in this movement right here. You see how he like drives through it at the same time he having that firm front side. So he's just like punching up and through that ball. We worked on that right there. And I would like him be a little bit more, because he started coming across, which, it's not too bad. I would kind of like it a little bit more upwards instead of like going this way. I would like it more this way towards his, towards his back. So I would tell him, tap yourself on the back with your top hand. So he's going this way to the ball, and then he's tapping himself on the back. So he's going to work this way instead of working across his body. We don't want to get too much with our top hand where we start rolling over, but the knob of the bat should be like tucked into your palm or your wrist right here and follow through. A lot of guys, they roll this wrist over, and the bat ends up going down here as they roll that wrist over. So you see that? See that? He's rolling that wrist over. I mean, that's way after the swing, so it's not too bad. But I would like it more direct over the shoulder. But, if it's this far after the swing, it's not a bad thing at all. So if you're a player out there and you're rotating this far after the swing, you're fine. Don't try to get too much into the details where you're, making yourself basically, getting yourself into slumps and stuff because you're thinking you're not doing things right. As you can see right there, right here, this is a home run. So this is a really good swing. So if, you don't have to be 100% every time. And honestly, we're not taking 100% swings all the time, but we want to give ourselves 90 to 95% every swing, like being our best swing. And look how he just drops into that slot. Look right here, and look how the bat starts going back and creates that speed to the ball, or picks up momentum to the ball. Look how it starts going back, and look where he's going forward. The bat starts going back, and now it's picking up speed so it can go right to the ball. And look how it just like all his backside just gets connected. Boom. And then you just hit it out front. Stay through it. And right here, look at that. Look at that. Just look at it. Just look at it. Just pimp it. You know what I mean? That's nice right there. That's nice. Ooh. Oh, man. Yeah, so that right there is what we worked on. And we worked on the top hand, being connected. We also pulled out a Fungo. Now, I'm a big fan of the Fungo because the Fungo is very light. So we put a Fungo in his hand and force him to start getting through it. You can control the Fungo better, and you can figure out the right bat path to start driving balls. And we actually came on the field right here earlier this day. This was the same day because he was hitting a lot of ground balls and he was getting out. And then he's like, man, I need to work. So we came in early and we were out in the field, just me and him. And I was flipping him ball. First, we worked off the tee. We did top pin off the tee. We started hitting everything right up the middle. So we're just driving the ball right up the middle of the field, right center, center, and left center. We just stayed up the middle of the field. Then from there, I pulled out the L screen and I would flip to him. So I flipped to him and we did, again, top hand. And we did off, we went to right center, we went to center, we went to left center. And we're just really trying to drive it in the air and with the right spin. So every swing we're looking at what was the spin doing, okay? And then from there, we grabbed the Fungo and we were hitting the same thing. Fungo and hitting it out front and driving it to right center, center, and left center. So we stayed right up the middle, okay? And with the Fungo, it's gonna be light, and he can control the barrel the way he wants to. So we were figuring out how can you get the ball in the air the right way. And we would look at the spin. Was he, hooking the ball? Was he, staying too far inside of it where the ball was going to go, the other way? Was it going to slice? So we were looking at each swing and trying to, gauge on how can he drive it and be the most effective. And the Fungo allows you to do that. So we hit with the Fungo on the field, and that's where we started learning, okay, this is how he drives the ball. This is how we can get you to drive the ball. And we started working on it. The first 3 rounds, it was just like low liners, control it, control it, control it. And then we went up and was like, all right, I want you to try to hit it over the right center wall, and literally try to get into the ball and drive it over the right center wall. And we did that. And then it was to center, and then it was to left center. And so we were working on that path to stay up the middle. And he clicked this one right here. He clicked it just a little out front. But he had the right path. He can cover the whole plate with here. Look at this swing. The swing right here, you can cover the whole plate. The plate is right here. The outside corner's like about right here, okay? If this ball was over here, he'd be able to drive this ball that way. And he's covering the entire plate right here. Middle of the plate, and this was like a little middle in that he drove. So that's what we wanted. That's why we were working up the middle, because we wanted to have where he can have the best chance to be successful and drive the ball middle of the field. And if he clicked it just a little out front, just like he did in this video right there, you see how he clicked it out front, that's a homer. And that's just basically what we were trying to go for. We wanted to, work the right path where if he's just a tad bit out front, he's still inside the zone and covering the plate where you can still drive the ball over, the fence. And I feel like a lot of you young players, you guys go into BP and you go into practice and you're pulling the ball, you're hitting it 400 feet, and that's good. You want to practice it, but if you're going to practice hitting homers, hit it over the left center wall if you're a right-hander, or center. Stay really like up the middle to your gap, because if you're working here all the way out here, hitting it to left field down the line in the game, you're not going to have enough bat. And what does that mean? You're not going to be able to cover this part of the plate over here because you're working so far out front. So you're going to be across your body trying to get the ball out here. So we want to work on staying up the middle, which will allow us to cover the entire zone and cover the entire plate. And if you just click it out front, you're a tad bit too early. You still have the bat path where you can do damage because you're staying through it. Look how long his swing is. We'll go back. So his swing now enters the zone. So it's entering the zone right now. So he has from here, and we'll see how long. to there. So he has this long right here of a swing path to, you know, basically be a mistake, or basically to hammer the baseball, excuse me. So that's what, you know, we want to focus on. And we started working this, and literally the first day he hits a homer. I think he gets out. No, he hits a double, and then he lines out to deep center. He went 2 for 4 with a double and a home run, and he lines out twice to the center fielder, deep center. So he started driving the baseball for his outs, like hard outs. They weren't like soft outs. And before, he was just hitting a lot of ground balls. So that's something that, you know, if you're a player out there, definitely, you know, work on proper path and your direction and getting through that baseball. In your video, you want to look like this right here. You want to get your bat on path with your top hand, okay? Top hand's creating it, and it wants to be connected, which elbow gets into the slot. See how his elbows get in the slot? And then from there, it's connected, and then going to the baseball, and with your hands above the barrel, and then you want to push through just like that. This action right here. Yeah, that's what you want. Push through right there, and then finish high through it. Boom, just like that. Let's look at another double that he hit. Probably was on the same day. Oof, look at that. So he was late on this, but since he had the right bat path, that's why he drove this ball, okay? He's late. This ball beat him. Look how he just gets everything to that ball, man. Oof. So yeah, he's late on that. He didn't hit this ball well, so he's late. Let's go right here. Yeah, he was late, but you see how it beat him? And then you see how he finishes, and it's like, it's not like his other one where he got extended, because this ball beat him, but since he had the right bat path, he could still drive this ball. And he hit a double into right center gap. So that's right there. If you got the right bat path and you're strong through it, look, like I said, he's strong through that with that top hand. And that's why he drove that ball. That's a really good swing. So this was earlier in the year. Now he did hit a double from early in the year, but you can see it right here, the difference. So we just here, and you see how he just takes it off and he like flings it. And he wasn't hitting that many doubles this year. So we're looking at fast time. Look at it in fast time right here. So that was his swing earlier in the year. And he wasn't hitting that many doubles. He did hit a double here though. Compared to later in the year after we were working, this was his swing. And that was his miss hit right there. That was his miss hit. Double into the right center gap. So you tell me which one's a better swing. Do you like the other one better, or do you like that swing better? So I want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Hit that like button and comment below. Let me know you're watching to the end. I always enjoy when I get to hear you guys watch to the end. So comment below. Also, if you would like to work with me or you want me to look over your video, link will be in the description below. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hit that like button for me because it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you guys in the next video.